Crimson Moon Forest on the outskirts of the town of Ravenhold stretched an ancient forest, known among the locals as the Crimson Moon Forest. It was said that during the nights when the moon was dyed red, witches from the forest emerged to perform their arcane rituals, connecting with ancient and mysterious powers that dwelt deep in the earth. Lilith, a young village girl with a secret interest in the occult arts, found herself irresistibly drawn to stories of witches and the power they could supposedly summon. One night, armed with nothing more than her curiosity and an old cloak to protect her from the cold, she ventured into the forest, determined to discover the truth. As she walked deeper into the forest, the air became colder and a thick fog was beginning to form, almost as if the forest itself was guiding her. Finally, she reached a clearing where the light of the crimson moon bathed everything in an unearthly glow. And there, in the center of the clearing, she saw the witches. Contrary to the stories of evil and darkness she had heard, the witches stood in a circle, hands held together, singing in a language that Lilith did not know. He knew, but that somehow resonated in the depths of his being. In the center of the circle, a cauldron bubbled, emitting flashes of light and shadow that danced among the trees. Moved by a force she did not understand, Lilith took a step forward, drawing the attention of witches. Instead of rejection, she found a welcome in their eyes, as if they had been waiting for her. One of them, the oldest, approached and offered her hand, inviting her to join the ritual. Lilith, without knowing exactly why, accepted. As she joined in the chant, she felt an unknown energy flow through her, connecting her to the forest, the stars, and the crimson moon itself. It was a feeling of power, but also belonging and understanding. The night ended with the witches sharing their knowledge with Lilith, revealing to her that true magic lay in the connection with the natural world and the ancient powers that balanced life and death, light and darkness. They taught him that magic was neither good nor bad, but a reflection of the heart of the one who practiced it. At dawn, Lilith returned to Ravenhold, changed forever. She kept the secret of what she had learned, but within her, the magic had awakened. She often returned to the forest, learning more from the witches and exploring the depths of her own power. The Crimson Moon Forest became her sanctuary, a place where she could truly be herself, free from the fears and prejudices of the people. And though he never shared his secret, he worked silently to protect Ravenhold, using his newfound knowledge to heal, protect, and when necessary guide those lost in the darkness to the light. The door to the underworld in the heart of a forgotten city, between dark alleys and ruined buildings, there was a door. It was no ordinary door, carved in black stone with ancient symbols that seemed to move in the darkness. It was the entrance to the underworld, the domain of the demons. Legend has it that every 100 years the door opens, allowing the demons roam the earth for a night, searching for souls to drag back to the underworld. This night, known as the Night of Souls, was feared by everyone, since no one wanted to be the prey of these dark beings. Elena, a young woman with an adventurous spirit and an interest in the occult, he had researched the legend for years. The Night of Souls was approaching, and against all warnings she decided to witness the opening of the door. Armed with protection amulets and a book of ancient spells, Elena headed towards the place where the door was supposedly located. Upon arriving, the air felt charged as if a storm was about to break out. The door, imposing and so black that it seemed to absorb the light, began to vibrate. Elena watched, fascinated and terrified, as the symbols began to shine with a bluish fire. With a crash that shook the ground, the door opened, revealing an abyss of darkness beyond. From that abyss, twisted figures emerged, demons of all shapes and sizes, with eyes that burned with evil fire. Elena quickly recited a protective incantation, forming an invisible barrier around her. The demons, upon noticing her presence, rushed towards her, only to be repelled by the barrier. While the demons tried unsuccessfully to reach her, Elena took the opportunity to study them, taking notes and drawings. However, her fascination turned into terror when a demon larger and more powerful than the others appeared. This demon, with an intelligence and malice that surpassed the others, observed Elena, smiling with a mouth full of sharp teeth. With a wave of his hand, the demon broke Elena's protective barrier. Before she could react, an invisible force dragged her towards the door. At the last moment, Elena managed to grab her spell book, speaking the words of a closing spell. The door began to close, but the demon, with a mocking laugh, promised to return for her. Elena narrowly escaped, with the door closing behind her. Although he had survived, he knew that the demon had marked his soul. Since that night, Elena dedicated her life to studying demons and the underworld, looking for a way to protect herself when the door opened again. The door to the underworld remains hidden, waiting for the next cycle to open once again. And in the darkness, the demons wait, whispering promises of revenge against the only one who escaped their grasp.